What's up, guys? Welcome in another episode. We've got tons of them already. I got multiple with pro players, with challengers, with casters, like different kind of subjects. And today we got quite interesting one because we got Hawr1x with us, and the main subject I'm gonna talk about is the whole data for Quake champions. It's something kinda unique what you are working on, which we're gonna jump to it later. But just long story short, we're gonna mostly speak about your project because I think it's super interesting. But the first question is like the same question I ask to everyone, like how your journey with Quake series, like not necessarily Quake Champions, but Quake Life, Quake 2, Quake World, how did it start for you basically?
Okay, so first of all, thank you very much for having me on the show.
I
It's actually the
appreciate
best
it.
show for Quake champions ever. I'm really glad that you are doing this kind of program for our community. It's amazing. I love it. So great job on that. So if I put that story, it's a long story actually for me. It's starting
Hmm.
like 1997 with Quake World
Hmm.
and with invention of my nickname that come out from pharmacy business in a way.
Oh,
And we played Quake World for I think a year or two, and then
hmm,
Quake 3 Arena started.
all right.
And back then, the clans were made actually from the guys from one city.
Hmm.
So we had the serial producers of Telefrax that
Hmm.
we represent our small town in the Quake community.
Hmm.
And most of the people kind of tend to stick with one of the title, and in
Hmm.
my opinion, I was always like go with the flow. So after Quake 3 Arena, I switched to Quake 4. I was following that
Hmm.
game, even though it wasn't ready for let's say one-on-one and tournaments.
Hmm.
In general, a lot of things changed with Quake 4 Max and
Hmm.
other add-ons, but it's pretty much same with every title
Hmm.
of Quake. For Quake 3, without OSP, it wouldn't be that popular, I think, because
Exactly. By the
yeah.
way, what do you
So
think? What do you think about Quake Live change, like to going to browser? It seemed like it's like game changer back then, but it also didn't work as good as we could like wish, right?
yeah, I think that it was like proof of technology. It was
Hmm.
amazing from technological point of view that
Hmm.
you have something like Quake 3 running in the browser.
Hmm. Yeah,
You still
exactly.
have the data on your hard drive anyways, but
Hmm.
that was the I think the main achievement, and this is what I think that will be like a mark in the history that they managed to put the Quake 3 engine into browser.
Hmm.
Otherwise, it was same game. In the end, you know that the browser part of that game was cut, so now you play Quake Live on Steam. So
All right.
you
Yeah.
you basically get back to Quake 3 style
Yeah.
of gaming.
Yeah.
So
Jumping back to Quake three times, like, because that was the main game you played in the beginning and you played it the most,
mhm.
I would assume, if you started with the
Yeah,
game, right?
yeah,
I remember there was quite few tournaments in Czech Republic back then for Quake 3,
hmm,
and it
yeah,
was usually old school, like BYOC kind of tournaments. I can't remember at the moment how was it called, but definitely it wasn't in Prague. It was like 200 kilometers away from Prague. I can't remember, but I remember I've been to one or even two of them. Do you remember what kind of tournaments there were? Like, I, I
yeah.
actually cannot
So
remember the name.
yeah, so in general, there were like three tournaments in the Czech Republic, but
Hmm.
at that era. I will start with the one that were community based from the Czech Quake community. It was Trnávka mainly,
Hmm.
and then before Necro Racers organized some tournaments in Zlín
Hmm.
and Slušovice.
Hmm.
But these were the community events. Then there was Jump, who did great tournaments for StarCraft,
Hmm.
and Quake was there as well. That was in Rimařov. That was like on the borders
That the one I'm
towards
talking. That the one I'm
Poland.
talking about. Yeah.
Yeah. And then actually Czech Republic was far ahead of the esports world back at that era
Hmm.
because there was Pro Gamers Corporation,
Hmm.
and they actually have long fingers, so they actually was moving part of building Ministry of Information in the Czech Republic.
All
So
right.
because of them, there was a whole new ministry built in the Czech government, and
Okay.
they siphon shitload of funds from that ministry.
Yeah.
They have project like internet to the schools, because back then internet was something amazing. We have dial-ups, and it was impossible to play on reasonable pings at
Mhm.
all. But at that era, they have like gaming cafes, and it was like, let's say, 50 in the major cities in the Czech Republic, and they were doing tournaments that the players move to that gaming cafe and play each other in
All
the
right.
tournaments. And they were doing pro gamers challenges. There
Mhm.
was huge tournaments actually. Some of them was in the hangars in Prague. Some of them was on exhibition centers. And back then, players like B100 Deaths, Cooler, Dark Angel from Italy. I don't know if you remember those names. It's like early era of Quake 3.
I do. I do. Yeah.
So Anton, obviously, but I mean, those players traveled to Prague, and there were huge tournaments with a great prize money, and the whole system
Mhm.
for the esports were built back at that point. And we are speaking about 2000,
Yeah.
something
That's
like that.
huge.
It's
That's huge.
That's insane. Yeah, so we were far ahead of that ESL and everything else. They have
Mhm.
like broadcasting studio in the Prague.
Mhm.
Actually, that was one of the project I was part of. I was doing a Quake show over there, and it was funny because there were no Twitch and anything on that scale like we have
Yeah.
now. So actually, for the StarCraft, Jump was doing broadcasts of the international tournaments because there was no other
Yeah.
able to do
Platform.
such
The first, yeah,
such production.
the first platform like Twitch, I remember, was on 3D, and I think it was made basically also by Diablo, the ex Quake 3
Mm,
player who is like rest in
yeah,
peace, like he's dead now. But I
yeah.
remember the first really like bigger platform was on 3D, which was doing like
Hmm.
broadcasting and Twitch. But yeah, go on. It's just like my thought.
Yeah.
But
So
but
the
at the moment there is like a ministry for of esport in Czech Republic, because I think
no.
we got something similar in Poland, but I don't really think it's respectable as much, or like people from the from the esport world, like players, casters, like everyone around, like specialists and stuff. I don't think they respect like such kind of ministry, because usually it's like stuck with the people who don't really have idea about the esport,
Mm.
and they are like more like officials and faces of the whole industry and stuff. So
Yeah, so what they did when they realized that there is no chance to siphon those funds anymore, they merged it with the Ministry of School and
okay,
Education.
all right.
So there is that part, but actually after pro gamers kind of quit their activities, the new brands were born in the Czech Republic. So
Mhm,
now they are like big gaming cafe in Prague as well, but
mhm,
it's far away from that level that we were able to have back then.
mhm,
Now we have Hitpoint doing League of Legends tournaments, which is amazing that they have great production, and
mhm,
there are people that really care about the whole industry,
mhm.
and they are doing like from the heart. So yeah, this is like current state of the gaming in the Czech Republic.
Hmm. Yeah.
And
S-
obviously there are big teams like Asuba and
Yeah.
Entropic
Yeah.
trying to do the like reach to international gaming.
Hmm. It's amazing for countries, especially like Czech Republic or Poland, or like this size of countries, which are not really the biggest countries in the world.
Mm,
But usually such countries have like huge like community and huge like fan base. And same like with Sweden back in the days, like 15, 20 years ago, they had like best CS teams. They had like a crazy, they
mm.
had the best Quake player, like Tox. Like they had like a lot of cool like organizations like Ninja in
Whole
Pajamas.
dream hack
Yeah, whole
basically.
DreamHack was Swedish, like
Yeah.
so you got some like countries which are crazy about it, but it's cool to hear that about Czech Republic. Such a shame, like such countries couldn't continue with esport. Like, I think the biggest boom for esport was like 2014, for example, 2020, and now somehow I
Mhm.
kind of like see the regress actually. I thought it's gonna go up, 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 and it's gonna be more close to the real sport. But now I kind of feel like it hit the like plateau, and it cannot grow anymore. But yeah, that's just my personal opinion.
From my point of view, there is like it can never be as a sport because there is owner of that IP.
Hmm.
So basically, if the company that is owner of that internet in that of that property is taking care about it, then you see the growth. You see something like the internationals, which is crazy, insane show. You see that Valve is working on Counter Strike, and I think that this is the main decision that is made within that company that you will support esports in that way you do. And from my point of view, if we go back to Quake, I'm really glad that there is such thing as Quake Pro League because it gives you like a huge show regularly.
Hmm.
But on the other hand, it's amazing that also community is trying to do their stuff, and that we
Hmm.
have a project like Kuachi is doing, that we have
Yeah, yeah,
KeenCon,
yeah.
and more. Obviously, something is going on in South America
Hmm.
with that invasion.
Yeah,
So Russians are doing crazy shit about Quake as well,
yeah.
even though they are somehow behind the wall right now, given
Hmm.
the geopolitical situation.
Yeah.
But then Resp is amazing. It's one of the best productions, I think,
Hmm.
with
I think
Quake
so too.
Champions.
We're gonna speak about that more because you obviously engaged in some of those like shows, like for example Polish League, or like you
Yeah,
were like you even went to Poland for as far as I know, like to
yeah,
help guys organize all this stuff. So we're gonna jump back to that. But like speaking of QPL, you said it's great, and it's like they producing like they giving us some regular like shows which we can follow, right? Do you
yeah.
think it's that the whole league system is much better idea than it was previously, like tournament system, like where we had, for example, 4 or 6 tournaments per year? You kind of compare it, like I remember I spoke about it with John, or like with 04, and we were
Hmm.
speaking about it, like what system is better, and he kind of compared it like to, for example, to some kind of, I don't know, let's say Netflix, and you got movies, and you got and you got the series.
Yeah.
And nowadays people seem to like lean more towards series than movies, because it's like it engage them for a longer period of time. They can watch it regularly, like, and the movie is like you're just watching one longer movie for 3 hours, and that's it basically. So which one do
Hmm.
you prefer? Because I'm a player, so my point of view gonna be different than the point of view of viewers, or like spectators, or people like outside
Yeah.
that.
From my point of view, I think that it was better to have like more LAN tournaments.
Hmm.
Obviously, that start when we have Luka, then Katowice,
Hmm.
then everything was shut down because of fucking COVID.
Hmm.
Uh, that was amazing for me. Going to
Okay.
Italy, it was huge fun, and every time I'm able to go to event and meet with the players and hang on with them, it's something amazing.
Hmm.
And this is some topic. Let's say down the line, I would like to go back to,
Hmm.
but. There is one issue with that 1 year season.
Hmm.
You need to work with that as a series, and
Hmm.
you need to be able to talk that story behind that whole year season. And this is what I'm kind of lacking actually.
Hmm.
That you have those weeklies
Hmm.
tournament or weekly
League.
plays,
Yeah, yeah, league.
yeah, and I think that it would be really cool to have some kind of storytelling behind it, because you don't have, in general, it's really demanding on the caster. You don't have time to expand on that story that each player is going through
Hmm.
from week to week. So this is what I think would be amazing to have in future. Maybe some people from the community
Hmm.
can like take a closer look what the players are going through,
Hmm. So you
and
actually
it's
want so you actually want casters week by week, like take a closer look at players and what they're going through,
mm,
what their situation with points, with general situation of the league, like
uh-huh,
maybe get
Yeah.
into more details, DP, like how they practice, maybe this, like same like, we're doing those predictions with Wenger, and we're trying to go
Which is amazing.
a
Yeah.
little bit more into the details. So whenever like I'm trying
Hmm.
to predict score of Hron, I already know he didn't practice, so I don't expect him to win, right? So maybe such kind of things. I know it will like
Yeah.
make the show much longer, and obviously casters will be like exhausted because we got like only, I think we every week we got only two casters,
It's
and
eight
then
hours. Yeah, it's
DJ
insane.
Wit is joining. So if they like
Yeah.
add all those stories, we got maybe, we would have to see like how the community is reacting, because if they sitting and
Yeah.
waiting for the game half an hour, maybe like some people get pissed off, and like with people it's like it's really hard to like make everyone happy. But I think that's a great idea. And I also spoke with someone, and what will be cool is like what Valve and CS is doing, like before majors. So like let's say in our case before QuakeCon or LAN tournament, we could actually like record the video of the player. Like they could send a crew, like video crew, and like
Yeah.
record the video, like how the day looks like for a pro gamer, like how they wake up, what they doing during the game,
Mm.
how they practice, how they eat, everything like this. I think that's
Yeah,
like
I
more
remember from the
modern.
past podcast, yeah,
Yeah.
that you were speaking about it, and I think it's a great idea. At least because most of the people, it's from my experience. So correct me if I'm wrong,
Hmm.
but most of the players from the community are looking on the top players as some kind of semi-gods or something like that. They are afraid to ask you questions. They are afraid to get in touch with you, and I think that it's really sad in a way that you are stripped to that performance you are doing on the show. And
Hmm.
this is kind of sad because I think that behind every player there is some great interesting story how they get into Quake, what they are experienced in their
Hmm.
actual life, and what's going on with them. So this is what I like when, especially in Romania, when we were hanging out with Sparty. You hear these crazy stories, what he experiences in his life. This
Hmm.
is like example, yeah,
Hmm.
maybe bad, but
It's
it's
quite bad
something
because
that.
like if he would say that like officially, like I don't I don't
Yeah,
think he can like share such stories. So it's only like, but
yeah,
there is much
I
different
know, I know,
stories which he can share. So yeah, I
yeah,
get your point.
yeah. So I mean, it's sad that you have like 16 best players from the world and you don't know shit about them. You
True.
know so this is what I'm missing, that you have huge potential to build on that
Hmm.
brand, and I think that uh, we need somebody like inside that company
Hmm.
take a look on that and see that potential that is wasted in a way.
Obviously, because it's not that hard to do. Because look, all of the players are having the signed contract to Bethesda, basically, right? And PGL is just doing coverage. So they basically
Hmm.
have rights to use our names, our like faces and everything. Like they can do interviews, photos with us when we are on the QuakeCon. So they can use our brand basically. So it's no
Yeah.
problem for them like to send a crew, and like there is no issue that some player will decline it. They cannot decline it because they are like engaged with the contract.
Uh,
So it's like
uh-huh.
it's just the mother of the guys who rule this like project to like
Hmm.
push such ideas. I think those like kind of daily videos, like one day with Avek or with anyone else, I think
Yeah.
that will be super cool and maybe not as expensive. You don't need to send the crew from USA or anywhere else. You can
Hmm.
hire some crew in Poland, for example, and then in Germany and stuff like this.
I
As
mean, you yourself did some insight. It was before Romania. I think you was on some vacation and you were doing the predictions while
Mhm,
you were on some vacation or something like that.
mhm.
So I think that even players themselves can somehow open to their routine of
Mhm.
practice. So it just depends how the community will try to do something about this opening of the of gates, or I don't know how to describe it. So
Yeah.
uh, you see, from my perspective, what you are doing with Marco, for example, and what you do with your podcast,
Mhm.
it's something that wasn't there before. At the in the end, you decided to do something that is helping community, that opens maybe people that are behind the scenes that are not that well known, and you, because of your reach and your name, is giving the opportunity to these people to be introduced to the community. And this is something that only pro players can do, basically. I
Exactly.
think, because there is nobody else in the community that have that reach. Actually, I had like a wild discussion with about that topic. What can pro players do to build up the community? And this, what you are doing, and Marco is doing, what David is doing. Like each Monday, he's going through the matches that happened on the weekend. This is what the pro players can do. I'm striving to see Rafa show us more tricks, do the tutorials. This is amazing. What the
Yeah.
Maxter is doing with
Yeah.
KingCon, helping to build the brand. This is where there is like more opportunities, I think.
I think so too. It's just the matter of the players if they are willing to do that or not. It's like at some point it's kind of hard because like Quake community is not as big, so you are not getting as big reach as you wish to, but still you got some base of people who are following Quake, and for those people I think such tweets and such videos, such little like content is always nice to watch. It's like it's obviously this because like even if I got like some like hobbies or anything like that, I love to watch like videos about that or people speaking
Mm.
about that or professionals speaking about my hobby, and like I'm
Yeah,
researching and I'm trying. If there wouldn't be no information about that, I probably my desire for my hobby will die basically. So I think such things are keeping the
yeah.
game alive, and I think all of us can do better job. But anyway, okay, so you are engaged in a lot of projects, like as we spoke before. How did you basically end up like working with like Polish League? Like how did it start it, basically?
It started when I realized that Sent No More is doing Polish League. It was actually second season, and I was hyping him to do English coverage for it because at that point there was Quake Pro League,
Hmm.
there was German Quake League,
Yeah.
and Polish Quake League, and I saw some matches from that first season, and I saw that they are real hype about the whole dealio about Polish Quake League.
Hmm.
So I was trying to help them
Hmm.
in a way, open that league to European community in a way, and so we end up doing some English streams with Yahoo, with Wolfie,
Hmm.
and it was amazing experience, and a lot of people might not realize it, but level of Quake and how enjoyable it is to watch in the end doesn't stand on the level of players. So
Hmm.
for example, you have like gold division, diamond division in that Polish Quake League, and they are bringing so much fun in the arena. How they are doing like YOLO plays, and because with Pro League everything is more calculated. You
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
you wait every fucking step you do in the arena. You calculate everything.
Hmm.
If you yeah, but then you have this kind of level which is really funny to watch, which
Yeah.
is really fun to cast, and I mean Polish community is one of the biggest communities in EU, I think, most active
Hmm.
in a way. So then when they told me that there is finals in Łódź, I was like, let's fucking go. So I kick my car, drive like 6 or 700 kilometers to
Yeah.
Łódź,
And you went there
and
alone? You went there alone or with some friends or?
yeah, I went there alone.
Okay.
I I was looking forward to meet all the people. There was like actually people from old Quake era. There were Matrox and other like shoot to kill guys. It's
Hmm.
like it was a great experience, and it bring back those memories from the BYOC events.
Yeah. Yeah.
Obviously, with Wuch finals, everything was set up in the gaming cafe. Everything was
Hmm.
perfectly organized there, and I really like that it was Battleground, something like that is the name of the venue. So we downstairs there were like a stage that we set up for casters, and I actually met Av3k over there, which is American living in
In Poland,
Poland right
yeah.
now. Yeah, we did some casts with him, and he's a great guy. He actually was one of the people that make me do some change with that compare project I'm going on,
Hmm.
but we will talk about it later.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was amazing experience. And then they went to Tilt Gaming,
Hmm.
and at that point I was trying to do some cast with them and with NVC that joined the
Hmm.
crew. But I got submerged in that compare so much that I don't find time to casting and I'm missing it. So I
All
hope
right.
to get back to casting again. It's like really interesting
Because now,
part of
yeah, because now there are like another finals coming up for this Quake Pro League,
yeah, yeah.
Quake Polish League, which are
Uh-huh.
in June, I believe, right? Are you
Yeah.
planning to go again?
I'm afraid that I won't be able to go there because we have some family vacation
Okay.
scheduled for that same time. Actually, I have 3 kids, and we promised the girls to go to
Hmm.
vacation to see to see the sea.
Okay.
So we are going to Cyprus. So
All right.
I don't. I would love to go, but like main goal for me regarding the events is QuakeCon. Obviously, I would love
Okay.
to go there
Well, so you're actually
after a
planning to
long
go to
time.
QuakeCon this year.
So I hope so,
Okay.
but
Because
there's like
yeah, because the
go
situation
on.
now with tickets are like quite difficult for me to understand. I didn't like dig deep into that, but I guess you can buy tickets which allow you to go to BYOC, or you
Hmm.
can like get tickets which allow you to go spectate Quake Pro League. Like I don't know how
I
it
know.
works exactly. Maybe you could explain me that, because like I'm not familiar with that, but it's much different than it was before.
Uh, so basically, you have 3 levels of tickets, giving you BYOC experience, depending on how much money you are willing to spend. So the most expensive ones are giving you some swag and some
Hmm.
more space on the BYOC and some seats, upgrades, and like priority when you can pick where you are going to sit.
Hmm.
So these are sold out right now, so only like regular BioC tickets are available
Hmm.
at this moment.
But
I actually,
with those tickets, you cannot watch QPL. Like you
I
cannot
think that
join
you
the
can.
stream. You can.
You have
Okay.
you have
Okay.
24 hours access to the event.
All
So
right. All right. So it's good.
I would expect that you can watch Quake Pro League. But I mean, my last experience from QuakeCon is 2008 when I was there.
Okay.
So back then you have BioC, and actually I was there as a press, so nobody bother me where I can or I can't go.
Yeah.
So so basically back then that basic part of the tournaments was somehow divided from the all the happening at the BioC and
Hmm.
like exhibition part of the QuakeCon,
Hmm.
and then there was the grand finals in that one of the halls.
Yeah.
So and back then, actually, it was they call it quad damage tournament. So it was, I think, Toxic and
And Fox.
Fox. Yeah,
Yeah.
were playing that finals, jumping from Quake to Quake. It
Yeah.
was
Yeah.
insane.
Yeah. Crazy.
So yeah, but I don't know if they have some different plans for this year. That
Hmm.
why it's like somehow divided. I get that maybe some people just want to watch Quake Pro League, so they had their ticket just to watch the show,
Hmm.
and yeah. But
So.
like I have made step one. I have like acquired visa, so I'm allowed to go to the US.
Okay.
So but then there is like second and third part, which is like a crazy amount of money you need to put into plane ticket and
Exactly.
actually
Exactly. But
staying in hotel.
yeah. But do you need like visa still, or you need ESTA?
Esta.
ESTA. All right. So that's
Yeah.
easier, right? Because you just like.
Uh,
fill the form.
yeah, you do. Yeah, you don't need to go to embassy. You
Yeah.
just send the request, and like within one day, it was confirmed for me.
Okay, so
So
you already got that, and you already got like BYOC tickets, or you're planning to get them only?
no, I won't go there to play. If I
All
go
right,
to QuakeCon, like my main goal is to take my camera, do some
and to press.
photos,
Hmm.
hang out with boys, and
Hmm.
have fun. This is like for me, like that motivation go there is connected solely to Quake Pro League and
Hmm.
to players.
You know what? Now I'm thinking like if you remember back in the days, like there was a lot of like big journalists. For example, Carmack, which is running ESL now, he was
Yeah.
starting as a journalist, and this guy was crazy.
Hmm.
He was bringing the camera, and he was especially going to event to do like the press. So he was
Yeah.
doing the coverage for like GGL back then, I think, site, which was
Hmm.
American site about esport.
I know. I was
He
part
was
of it.
he was doing photos, he was doing videos, he was like doing
Mm-hmm.
interviews. So I think like there is a lot of space to improve for some people because we don't have that anymore. We don't have really that one
Hmm.
journalist which is always going there and you are like looking at him and you're like, man, this guy is a journalist and he's doing
Yeah.
videos and everything. So if I was
Mm.
you, I would really use that time well and I would just like film basically everything. Like I would
Yeah.
like even go with the camera, right? And show to people like how does it look like. Maybe catch John, like the general manager of Quake, and ask him few questions. Maybe get like Tokyo Punch Out, like who is like the social media manager, and he is like responsible for the whole how does the project look like in front of the people. Like show the players, maybe do some separated interviews, like even your whole
So
trip, like waking up, like going to the airport and like talking and stuff like this. There's a lot of things to do. You just need like really really good camera, so that would be cool. But as you said, like the tickets and the hotels are like super expensive, but
I mean, especially the hotel.
especially
Actually,
the
the
hotel,
hotel
especially the
is
hotel.
twice as price as the actual ticket to go
Hmm.
there.
I would
So
assume,
and
I would assume if you want to go there as a player goes, and you need to
mm,
pay everything on your own, including food, like tickets, like a hotel. I think if you want to spend there like 5 days, it's like you're gonna, I don't know, spend like
uh,
8k USD minimum.
like hotel is 2K.
Flight is gonna be
You
around like 1.5, 2k as well,
fly, yeah, flight
unless
is like
you go with some cheap airline, if there are
Air
still.
France. Air France will get me from Prague to Dallas for €1,000.
Okay,
So this is quite cheap, but I mean it's much more expensive than going to Romania, obviously.
definitely, much
Yeah,
more.
and
Yeah.
so I would like to go back to that topic you were talking about. Ask Tokyo Punch Out,
Hmm.
ask John.
Hmm.
Back when there was Luca,
Hmm.
I negotiated everything through ESL. So I was allowed to go to Luca. I
Hmm.
was allowed to go to backstage, and I shoot like 400 photos from that event. And then I put it to Google Drive and allow everybody
Hmm.
to use those photos.
Okay.
So this is what I was doing, and I was hoping to go to Katowice as well,
Hmm.
but like 1 or 2 days before they shut out everything,
Hmm.
because actually Katowice was played during the era when everybody was starting to shutting the borders with COVID. So in the end, you end up in the empty Katowice
Hmm.
because no visitors was allowed there.
Hmm. They
So
actually shut it down. Like the president of the
yeah,
city shut it down, the whole
yeah,
event down, like one day before it started. I remember I
yeah.
was like
I
driving
know.
there, and then I got the phone call, and they said that
Yeah,
everything is shut down,
and
and there will be no
yeah, I
public or anything.
I had everything packed up. I was ready. I had Airbnb in Katowice.
Hmm.
Everything was ready, and they, fuck you. You can't go anywhere.
Man,
I was
a
okay.
lot of people went there. Imagine there were people from United States already in Katowice in Poland waiting
Yeah,
for
I
the
know.
event and they couldn't go. Like the city, I remember after tournament we went out to the city and it was fucking packed. Like it was so many
Yeah.
people and everybody was pissed off
Mm.
and
Yeah.
everything was closed and it was just really
Yeah.
really bad.
Yeah, that was kind of sad. So then actually when the first LAN event was happening was Romania,
Hmm.
and I go as well, but I
Yeah.
found out that I'm not allowed to do anything over there, so
All
I
right.
just hang up in the hotel. So I don't know if this is like a good precedence to expect anything would be possible to do in Dallas, but I don't
Because
know.
you couldn't do anything because you couldn't enter the PGL studio, I think.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
And the PGL studio was like owned basically by PGL. Now like going into the QuakeCon, PGL is like has nothing to say about that because they only doing the
Mm,
coverage. They only organize the tournament. The studio was there, and like the Hilton or like Gaylord in this case, like it's not their
yeah.
property. So you basically I think like you can actually take photos of like official events without like even asking permission. So you
Yeah.
could do it basically by the law. I think you could do it without even asking anyone. And if
Yeah.
you want to be super nice, you could like ask John and say, "Hey, I want to come and I want to like do some coverage and I want to do some photos, shoot some like interviews and like give you guys some public and stuff like this." And I think it wouldn't be a problem. So
Yeah.
I
For
hope
me,
for
this
them.
is like a controversial topic, so let's rather skip it.
Right. Anyway, the main topic I wanted to talk with you, like, because nobody did it like for Quake, like to the such degree. But you can you talk about your like project which you are working on, which I'm like talking about is like the data whole analysis, like
Yeah.
everything statistics, because it's like this must be like super super difficult to do because as I've seen like you got like all the info like not only maps and matchups and you uploading VODs, you got like maps won, maps lost, you also got statistics of weapons, everything, basically everything.
Uh-huh.
Like how hard
Yeah.
is it to do and how did you start doing it? When did you figure out you want to do it or whole
I
story?
actually I actually started with the first season of Quake Pro League.
Okay.
And back then it was running on Quake.cz.
Okay.
But after some circumstances, I decided to open my own pub. So Quake Pub was born
Hmm.
on that occasion. And after that, Katowice, and after some kind of change or switch in situation in my personal life, I went away for a year or two from Quake.
Okay.
And then I came back and I continue with the project because I think again you have like top league for the community for Quake champions, and I kind of felt that having some insight what's is going on in the arena on a like on that stats level
Yeah.
is really interesting. So a huge part of that project is actually Smolíček, who runs stats. When official stats wasn't working, so there was no way for you to check matches.
Hmm.
He was the one who managed to hack into engine of Quake champions and get data
Hmm.
from each map. So thanks to him being Czech and we understand each other well,
Hmm.
he allowed me to basically cooperate on that project of his by like checking the matches. So, for example, for me, when you are playing on Sunday,
Hmm.
Saturday, sorry,
Yeah, Saturday.
I sit like on the back end of stats and I'm seeing all the matches that are played, uh, even practice games. So when
Okay.
you finish your game, I grab that statistics, I publish them to his website, and then I put it to my system.
Hmm.
And from that stats, from that one final screenshot after each arena, I'm extrapolating all the data you see from the Quake Pro League.
Okay.
So I'm basically starting with just that. It's like 30 or 50, something like that, numbers that
Hmm.
are mentioned in that final screenshot. So you have pickups of the items. You have accuracies, and everything is like built from that one screen.
Okay.
So then, go on.
Yeah, interesting. Like it's like the whole idea is pretty good because like no one else came up with it, and I think it's also super useful for players even because I remember like in the first season or like when Dewey was still playing, he was doing something similar, but it was very like amateur. So he had a like Google Drive, Google Doc, and he was
Yeah,
like manually putting all the like data, so just for himself
that's how I started.
to see like who was playing which map, just like to take advantage, and like he was
Yeah,
doing scores, everything, who played who. So he was doing that to a certain level, but on amateur level.
yeah. For me, everything is like put by hand as well.
Hmm.
Uh, right now, we are working with Smolicek to grab the data from his server to my system, like
Hmm.
automatically. With Rob, we were discussing some AI to grab the
Hmm.
screenshots. So I don't know if it will happen, but that would be amazing because if this would be possible, every organizer could use it. So
Yeah.
I have stats from Respliga, like that first season, and Quake Pro League,
Hmm.
and I want to integrate like those major tournaments to certain degree. So then when there is like a LAN event, you can grab data from Quake Pro League, from
Hmm.
other big events, and have that information. But uh, I also thought that it would be interesting to have that arenas overview to know what weapon is like a major use
Hmm.
there, and it's interesting for the pro players, obviously, because you know that if you play against Chain, you don't need to bother about corrupted keep. You can put it out of equation at all. You don't need to ban it. You can like work on your ban because you know that with 99% he will
Yeah.
ban that arena.
Yeah.
And more players having like a favorite arena that they ban.
Hmm.
So this is one of the meta
Hmm.
switch you can have. I don't know if it is good or bad for the game because you will then find out that there are some champions that are working really well on that arena,
Hmm.
and then you have like traditional pairs that are used to be played
Hmm.
for corrupted keep is like Ranger, Stroke and Peaker, Galina. Those three champions are like most of the time picked for that arena.
Hmm.
But I think it's really interesting. And like last edition for me was I call it Procaster,
Yeah.
and it's basically consolidating all the information you have on the player. So I know that, for example, you have played 226 games in Quake Pro League,
Hmm.
like through all the seasons.
Okay.
So you have that information. So when I'm looking right now, for example, on your game versus Raisy,
Hmm.
you played Slash on Ruins of Sarnath, and I have all results when you played Slash on that arena. So you know I know that you won 11-4 with Chron, you have won 6-4 with Chain,
Hmm.
and then you lost to Raisy
Hmm.
like this week. But so these are the informations I'm trying to offer to casters to know some,
All right.
let's
Some
say, split
details. Yeah.
second, like addition, like cherry picking from those informations.
Hmm.
So this is then with Evmatic, he is like addicted to copy pasta the maps pro players are playing. So there's like a tool that allow you to see all the matches from this season of Quake Pro League. You just click the button, you have copy pasta, you put it into game, and you can play any match basically with the same setup.
All
So
right.
this is like a tool that will allow you to get some general information, or
Hmm.
if you dig deep, you can build your pick and ban system in the match for it. It just like have so many use, I think,
Yeah.
in general.
I think like I think it should be more advertised in between like regular like viewers, like regular people who don't really even play that much,
Yeah.
so they can check this out. Because for players, it's definitely super good info.
Mm,
Like every player is running their own stats a little bit, but not to the degree. But
yeah.
I think even like because what like general like average viewers from Twitch can gain from that? What you think? Like if they are like fan of Quake
Uh,
and they
if they
watching
are fan of
QPL and
Quake,
they watching
yeah,
QPL every week or Respleak or like whatever that I
yeah.
don't know.
So what those people can get is like their improve their own experience from playing. So
Hmm.
if you know that you are on that let's say gold silver division,
Hmm.
playing some let's say like
Higher rank,
how do you say?
higher elo.
Yeah, that rank. So you know that some champions are working better for that arena. So
Hmm.
this is like what you can get if you are betting on like Twitch.
For
You can
example,
you can see the match history of the players, so you know that
that's a good point. That's a good point. Yeah.
yeah. So you know again. I go to your match versus Raisy. And there I see all the matches you played on each arena. So
Hmm.
if I go, for example, to Vale of Nat, I see you played week 9. This was this week. Then you played last season on finals within the bracket rounds 3, and let's go on. So I have all the matches that you two played on that arena, and I see okay, there was like era when Raisy was winning at the start. Then 2001, 2002. Avec was fucking owning whole the situation,
Hmm.
and then last two matches again, Raisy
Hmm.
won it.
Hmm.
So this is like there are like 100 hours put into that system,
Yeah.
and right now you say it would be great to announce it to public. This is one of the way you actually giving me like let's say birthday present
Hmm.
that I'm able to promote it in a way.
Hmm.
And but
Just
it's
for
not
the people, just for the people who gonna watch it, we will try to. I will ask you for all the links, and we will try to implement
mm,
everything under this video so you guys can check it out and see on your own if you like it. Maybe in comments you can like add something from yourself. So like what can be improved on that side? What would you like to
yeah.
see more? Because like the more people think about it, the better it is. Maybe someone has a great, insightful idea, and maybe some feature can be added to that and be even better.
Yeah, and while we are on the technical stuff, go share that best show of Quake Champions to your social media.
Exactly.
Yeah, stop it right now, share it, and come back.
And subscribe
But
to the Endpoint channel.
obviously, Pete is doing amazing stuff, by the way, with
He's
Endpoint.
he's yeah
He's amazing.
he does like they doing this headquarters right now and it's
Yeah.
huge and they are hiring a lot of people and it's like it's like sometimes it's quite amazing. Even today I thought about it like how they are doing so great nowadays, especially
Mm,
where like a lot of organizations, esport organizations, they cannot really grow or like make like profit on it and they somehow all the time like improving and everything, so shout outs to them. And
yeah.
also like Endpoint and Pete is like doing huge job even with those podcasts on, because as far as I know sometimes he even did the time stamps for some of those podcasts.
Yeah. So if I go like back to that stats,
Hmm.
I think that there are a lot of things that people will find out interesting. Right now, that stats are in like I would call it closed beta. I send that links to all the players from Quake Pro League.
Hmm.
I send those to some people that are actually interested in those stats as well. So Culinary is doing some VODs after each week.
Hmm.
I said that to Ins, obviously,
Yeah.
because Bruno is a huge fan. He's actually one of those people that are coming back with some ideas what he would like to see.
Hmm.
And I mean, if that system is in this state right now, we can only build on it and add in some more stuff. So there are like there is like Hall of Fame, for example,
Hmm.
as a part of it, and I'm following all the performances per match, for example. So after this week, Nicola improved his LG. Like during those 3 maps he played, he have 56% LG,
Okay.
which is insane
Yeah.
when you think about it. And then he was playing versus Toxic, which is another LG heavy or aim heavy player. So these are the information I'm trying to like. I can imagine it like stats for NHL, for example.
Yeah.
Maybe for you, football is like more
Yeah.
close,
Familiar.
but here in
Yeah.
Czech Republic, is everything is fucking hockey.
Okay.
But so I'm thinking about this way because I can change those stats like from season to season. In general, I have like a lifetime records. So for example, I can see that Rafa throughout that Quake Pro League, he already made like 4.6k frags, and Raisy is second with 3.6k.
Jesus.
So you can see there's like 1,000 frag difference between Rafa and the rest of the crew. So these are like I have lifetime lifetime records rather.
Okay.
So these are like information I'm able to put together. I obviously have huge gaps in some previous seasons. So when that system is ready, I will spend next hours and hours putting in the results and stats. So then we get like more like bigger precision, and then you will be able to filter like from season to season. So for example, I'm able to compare what is your let's say LG right now in the match and compare it to your average like lifetime. I can have those numbers if you are playing against one player that you are playing better than
against the other.
yeah.
That's
Because
crazy. That's crazy. A lot of information, to be honest. Like I actually like before we started to speak, I didn't even realize myself how much you can get from that because even those frags, right? Like how many frags total you have, it already tells you something. Like it tells you that like Rafa is definitely playing much more aggressive and in general making more frags during the game. Like his games are never gonna be as low frags because he's always gonna try to rerush and stuff like this. So.
And this is exactly. And you can have those information from the damage done in that arena and the frags achieved. So I'm able to, for example, have information that you need to do, for example, 300 damage to score frag. And then some player need to do 600 damage to score the frag. So then you realize, okay, maybe the opponent is better at healing, which is another factor I have. With Quake, there are much more factors actually than like in sports in general. Because what they do with hockey or football, how many minutes you spend on the field, how much goals you score,
how much you run.
Yeah. So, but here you have like frags, each weapon. I obviously follow mostly like Unholy Trinity, Rocket Launcher, LG, and Rail. So that brings me actually to one moment I found really funny. You were playing versus Party like last season on Ruins of Sarnath, and you didn't use Rocket Launcher at all on that arena. And so you was working with nail gun, with just railgun and LG, and I was like, did Marseille lose some bet or what the hell happened over there?
I didn't even know that. Man,
that's
crazy. That's crazy story. I didn't even know that.
Because of that, actually, because of that,
real, I didn't use rocket launcher at all.
No rocket was shot on that match. It was last season, week 9 versus Party, and you didn't shoot rocket.
And I won that map.
No, you lost in overtime. Sadly, it was 8-8 or something like that, and you play like 17 seconds overtime and you lost it. But it's like because of that, actually, I need to change the way I'm checking if I have stats to that match.
Okay.
Because I was cheating. Because there are so many information on the database that I was basically I pick up one factor and I was like, everybody will use that rocket like all the time. Come on. And I found out that you wasn't the one. And because of you, I need to change the way I'm actually checking if I have stats entered to that match.
Unbelievable.
So thank you for improving my system.
You're welcome.
Actually, last week, Raisy was playing against Strong Sage on Deep Embrace, and he didn't use Rocket as well. So I'm like, what the fuck is going on? Why don't you are using Rocket? Maybe
Yeah.
shotgun is too OP. I don't know.
Jesus, that's crazy. And
Yeah.
what are your future, like nearest future plans for this project? Like you want to, as you said, you want to like kind of introduce it more to the casters, so maybe they can like pick some like cool
Yeah.
informations, like other
I'm
like
trying.
maybe you could actually like do your own like some statistic videos on YouTube or something like that if you got time, because like I didn't ask you, but
Yeah.
like I will ask it as a last question when we finish. Like, what's your life at the moment outside of the Quake? Like, how much other like responsibilities you have? Because you got like
Okay.
you know daughters, and I know you are busy guy. So, but like, how we want to like what you want to do with this project still?
So I have like two possible options.
Hmm.
First one is to shut it down as it is and enter more statistics from the past to make it like
Hmm.
more precise.
Hmm.
And Avmatic is actually trying to force me to put extra layer over it
Hmm.
and do some betting system for
That's
virtual
that's super good.
cash. So
That's super good.
that would kind of make that site more like approachable to the people, so people can go. They
Hmm.
will check all the informations I have on that match. I will make some way how to set the ratios,
Hmm.
and then people will like bet some kvačky, which is
Yeah.
a long time currency I invented back then, and use this. But for me, I think that like a best outcome that I can think of right now is that if that system would be used in a way that it would help casters to make the show more interesting, because there are so many information and like
Hmm.
huge much history between pro players that you can't memorize everything. You don't
Yeah.
know. You do preparation and everything, but then it's like always easier when you have something that offers you that support in a
Hmm.
way
Of
that
course.
you can that those information. So this is like two options, and then I'm trying to finish that QuakePub as a site, because with the QuakePub I kind of decided to hire some artists. We were doing some drawing
Hmm.
those marks, for
Yeah.
example, and it's like the whole goal is to make that website look like you are actually in that pub.
Yeah.
So these are like goals, but for me, I'm really happy that I'm actually able to let's say put more and more information over there. There is like a second side to it that it might look really busy when
Hmm.
you see it for the first time, but once you read it,
Get familiar.
learn
Yeah.
how
Yeah.
to yeah. Because for example, when I having those two players facing each other, I'm also trying to show you like global averages. So for example, on Ruins of Sarnath, rocket launcher is 25%.
Hmm.
And when I see Raisy, he's shooting with higher average.
Okay.
He's doing more damage. So this is like another things that I'm trying to incorporate. Actually, last week I did some like practice casting, so that
Hmm.
give me some more information that I want to show. So I don't know. It's like if it is helping, then it's okay.
Yeah, I guess this idea with like adding some betting will like make some interaction with people and they will like to join. I think even if it's like something like Twitch like currency or something like that, something similar, not really necessary the real money, because like real money betting site is kind of hard nowadays. I'm not sure if it's for sure it's
Yeah,
legal, but it's like you need a lot of like
you need lassation
papers.
or something like that.
Yeah, definitely. So yeah, that's great. That's super cool idea. Like and I like it. And I'm also gonna like check this site out like a lot more. And I even after this like podcast, I'm gonna try to check it out. And for example,
Mm.
okay, so for example, like next week I'm gonna play my game against Dramis, right?
Yep.
What would you as an like analyst expert suggest me to do? Like general
You-
maps,
you-
looking maps. We know like Dram is playing a lot of Slash and he likes it, but does statistics show that he likes Slash, or like
uh-huh.
statistics
But it,
shows that the Slash was like the mostly banned against him, or what does statistics say?
so when I go to Dramis and show his profile, I know that he have like 50% railgun,
Hmm.
he have 40% LG and 32% rocket launcher.
Hmm.
He's in average doing like 4,000 damage, so he's really aggressive.
Hmm.
He tends to pay for that aggression by dying a lot, like 9 frags
Okay.
in general. And he's paying more attention to heavy armor than mega health. And he's pretty well in picking up light armors. His favorite arena is Molten Falls, and then DM6 and Ruins of Sarnath.
All right.
With well, then those arenas are, but mostly he will tend to go for Molten Falls.
Hmm.
He's playing mostly with Galina, Athena, Slash, and Ranger. These are his
Galina, Athena,
favorite
Slash, and
champions.
Ranger. Okay.
Yeah. So and then I'm on his profile right now. So then I can go like let's say for that performance on just Molten Falls.
Okay.
So you add a next layer to the filter. So his victory rate on Molten Falls is 42%. He won 3 games from 7. He
Hmm.
played on that arena. In 50%, he will pick that arena, and
Hmm.
in 25%, it will be left as a decider.
Okay.
Just once it was picked against him, and one time it was banned against him.
All
He
right.
don't ban that arena at all.
Hmm.
So, and he was playing there with Sip. Sip beat him while Dramis was playing Nyx,
Hmm.
and Sip was playing Anarchy. So
Okay.
if you get there, Anarchy is your kind of go-to, maybe.
Hmm.
He lost to Rafa while playing Visor, and Rafa was playing Stroke and Picker.
Okay.
Then he won versus Nosfa while playing Sorlak, which is like, what the fuck?
Against Slash, yeah, I remember that.
Against Slash, yeah. And he lost to Strong Sage while Strong Sage was playing Slash and Dramis was racking Anarchy. So
Okay. That's some
this,
kind of information. He usually bans CK, right?
yeah.
Yeah. And Deep Embrace, I think, as well.
Mm-hmm.
As a second ban.
Yeah.
Yep.
So
Okay.
kind of you kind of go to that site, and there are like two things. One is compare when you go and you see like general stats,
Hmm.
your match history. So I know that you beat him on QuakeCon 2020, and you won against him on week 8 last season,
Hmm.
2-1.
Which
So
map did I lose?
you lose Ruins of Sarnath,
And
and it was
what
close.
was the what
You
was the picks?
Anarchy for you and Stroke and Peaker for Dramis.
Okay. Now I
And
remember. Now I remember. Yeah.
yeah,
Okay.
and like if I'm able to, you have like a link to the stats from Smolly Check, so you can check like all the stats that was playing. So it's like match preparation could be useful as well.
Hmm.
But for example, when you go to this part of profile, I know that I'm comparing actually light, medium, and heavy champions. So
Okay.
for example, if you're playing as a light champion versus light champion, you tend to win. It's like 4-3 in average. It's just this season actually. For you, best matchup is medium versus medium. It's like that Quake 3 era when you were like a young, talented kiddo in Hanover with a beanie rocking razor. So yeah, that medium champion is working for you.
Okay.
So, uh, and I know that people tend to ban Visor against you, at Anarchy and Nyx.
Yeah.
With Dramis, it's banning Slash, Ranger, and Stroke and Peaker. For him, best light champion is Athena and Slash, obviously.
Okay.
So
Well,
these are the information.
yeah, that's super obvious and like useful info at some point. Like you can get everything
Yeah,
like in a sec.
for you, it is like experience you have. So, for example, when you are speaking with Marco about picks and bans, you are putting your insight and your experience into it. Me being stupid, I need this assistance in a way.
Well,
Because I'm not because I realize like early in my Quake career that I won't be pro player because I'm too lazy to think about it. I'm a speed junkie. I just go to play fucking Anarchy and speed through the arena.
yeah.
Don't give a fuck, and I'm just having fun.
Yeah.
People are you thinking at all when I play those? I said no, I don't think. I have three kids. I have business to run. I just relax here. I don't care.
Enjoy.
It's like
Yeah.
yeah. So
Great.
it's like different approach, but actually this is what kind of bring me to do something for the community. Do let's say media, do this kind of project with the statistics, because I love it. I fucking grow with that community. I love Quake so much that it's like obsession in a way. Which again bring me to troubles because then I'm talking out loud my mind and fucking about
Obviously,
situations that I don't like.
Obviously, but it's like people need to understand that even if somebody trash talk the game or anything like related to the game, it's maybe not the pure hate, which sometimes there is like this, but sometimes they are like speaking their mind because they love the game and they care and they want the best for it. Even in a relationship, you have argues, and it doesn't mean that you don't love the other person. It's just you try the best for the relationship. So people need to understand that, and I give like huge credit for like some people like when they saying some bad stuff because emotions take apart and stuff like this. So we shouldn't judge such people. But anyway, so we are planning to go to QuakeCon, which not gonna
I
happen
hope so. I
because you're
mean,
going to Cyprus. And for how long you going for your vacation?
1 week.
That's good.
It's like 10 days or something like that.
It's gonna be perfect weather, I think, in June.
Yeah, we are going like end of May, start of the June, and it's like I personally hate like summers on vacation. Because it's actually perfect weather here in Czech Republic. So why should I go somewhere
for the same
when there are like
weather? Yeah.
40 degrees whatever on shade. So for me this is like early start to the summer, and then
it's super good. Like last year I was on holidays, exactly same dates. I went there like 25th or 28th of May, in the end of the May, and I came back like first week of the June, and like the weather was super cool, and like it was like 35 degrees in Spain, and I went back to Poland, it was 18 and it was so cold, and I was like and I was all tan and everything after the sun, so it was crazy good. Like any other tournaments you wanna join like this year, like, or only QuakeCon basically?
So
because there's gonna be this KingCon probably, and I wish they do something crazy good, like I heard that they want to do 2v2. There might be Iron Fist 2 also coming up in UK, so there's a lot. I think there's a lot this year, to be honest.
I love Iron Fist. That was amazing event. Everybody was so welcomed. It was kind of cool venue. Everybody was in like one room. And I sure hope that there will be next Iron Fist. So I enjoyed that so much. So I miss KeenCon, and from what I see, like on the stream, it was amazing, well organized. So, like main goal, I will tell you like what's going on in my life, like behind the scenes. So I'm a co-owner of pharmacy, and we are
Okay.
producing like drugs that are delivered across the whole Czech
Hmm.
Republic. A lot of things are going on. I'm actually short on staff and other like usual shit that you can go on with business. Then I have 3 kids and I have a house that I want to renovate. So a lot of money is going to that house. A lot
Hmm.
of things are going on into that personal things.
Hmm.
But if I should pick one event where I want to go, is that QuakeCon, obviously. That's like number one.
Yeah.
So I will try to save for it. I might be doing some try of let's say collecting or helping me with the budget on that event.
Hmm.
I don't know. It's like always when I see people asking for money, I don't like it directly. So I'm thinking about actually offering those T-shirts,
Hmm.
maybe with the beer max. I don't know. It's like
I remember
more.
Nosfa was collecting money for his bootcamp, and he made a T-shirt
Yeah,
where he like implemented every single name who donated to him or
yeah.
something. There is some cool ideas for that, I think.
Yeah, obviously, and because
Or
it's
or
quite
you
a lot of
or you
money.
can take your like childs and you can go to the KingCon to Spain and have another vacation this year.
Maybe,
It's
I don't
probably in
know.
Barcelona, super cool place, cool weather. It's
Yeah,
it's gonna be in autumn, so like November or something like that. So it's already gonna be coldish in Czech Republic.
yeah.
Super good.
Sounds maybe better, but I don't know. It's like time will show. Maybe I will save it. I don't know.
Yeah.
Anyways, I still there is a plan that with that Quake Pop, as I said already, I have artists that is making those beer max.
Hmm.
Maybe you saw them on Twitter or whenever I
Hmm.
post them, and actually it's like only obvious when you have pop, you need to have like max for each of the champions. So we are right now working on Nyx, which is
Hmm.
going to be super interesting. We are trying to make it like subtle with because she's like a hot chick in the pool of the
Yeah.
champions.
Yeah.
So we are trying to go like more in direction of the let's say champagne glass. But the main idea for her
Hmm.
is that beer mag will have like two states. It will be like transforming. So without using it, it will look like ring.
Okay.
So she will have a ring on her finger, and then it would like transform to that beer mug. So and we have like idea for each champion, for Aizen, for Visor, and more shit is going on with that. It will be 16 max. One day maybe they will be 3D printed. I don't know, but
That's cool
it's a
stuff.
really interesting project because each champion have like different background.
Hmm.
So for Sorlak,
Hmm.
she have that school I'm racking right now. It's
Yeah.
like school of the. It's from the lore of
Hmm.
Quake. It's like a human skull basically
Hmm.
from the raiders that ravage her planet.
Hmm.
So and there's like a connection to Hunter, which is
Hmm.
champion we didn't get for Quake champions. So
Yeah.
like backstories are made for each of that mag. So I will try to offer those to fans if they are interested. I
That's
don't know.
super good as well. Anyway,
Yeah.
Habrix, I think we went through everything I wanted to ask you, and I appreciate your coming so much. And I think the job you are doing for the community is huge, and I wish you get like a lot of shout outs for that. And I will be really excited to see you on QuakeCon this year, and I think you can do some super good job with media. I'm as well gonna try to record something. Maybe I can do that, but playing and recording and working on content, I think it's super hard to do at the same time.
I mean, when you are in the tournament, your mind should be like sticking to the tournament.
Yeah.
For example, Cooler is like a biggest example I think of all because, for example, in Luka when he was in the tournament, he don't want to speak with anybody
Hmm.
unless you speak Russian and you are like a lifetime friend of him.
Hmm.
So I think that at that point when those stakes are so high, you want to have like everything set up for you
Hmm.
to concentrate only on the game.
Hmm.
So
Exactly. Anyway, guys, thank you for watching. As I said, we're gonna implement all the information to share with you guys under the video. So check this out. Tell us what you think. Like also like all the ideas for how to like improve the Hawr1x project are welcome. And thank you for watching.